circled. Rap star Tupac Shakur is nearby. Caught on Las Vegas MGM Grand Hotel's surveillance video. Death Row Records co-founder Marion Suge Knight is circled. Rap star Tupac Shakur is nearby. Prosecutors say Knight is seen kicking Orlando Anderson, and that act is the alleged probation violation. The video is evidence in Knight's probation revocation hearing, proof the DA's office says Knight took part in the beating of Anderson last September.
Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight were kicking Orlando, who was on the ground at that time.
Deputy DA Bill Hodgman backed up the video evidence with testimony from the hotel's security manager, Annette Muchuka, who said she tried to stop the fight. The judge is not allowing Muchuka to appear on camera.
Tell us what you saw.
He was kicking him.
More than once?
Yes.
More than twice?
Yes.
More than 3 times?
Yes.
But when the beating victim, Orlando Anderson, took the stand, he testified Knight tried to stop the beating. Again, we cannot show you Anderson on the stand.
I seen him standing right there helping me. He was about the only one.
He was helping you, is that correct?
Yes.
Las Vegas Metro Homicide Detective Brent Becker later took the stand and testified Anderson had a much different story when he interviewed him in October.
He made the comment that Tupac and Knight beat him up pretty good. And
He specifically said
he used
Knight.
the first name Tupac and the last name Knight.
Anderson was arrested last month in a sweep of Compton gangsters. Las Vegas homicide cops are still investigating possible links between Anderson's beating and the shooting death of rapper Tupac Shakur on the Vegas Strip later that night. Knight is facing 9 years in prison if his probation is revoked. The hearing continues on Friday. In Los Angeles, Rod Bernson, Fox 11 News.
Rumble with a Crip gang member from South Central. Knight claims he only tried to break it up.
If somebody gets seriously hurt, I definitely will be getting sued. It'd be embarrassment to the company, it'd be embarrassment to myself, and it'd also be a possibility of me being violated of my probation that I don't want to be incarcerated. I'd like to be on the streets.
But prosecutor Bill Hodgman noted Knight never contacted his probation officer about the fight and that he could just as easily have walked away from it.
My first instinct, I've learned from my past history of being involved in violent activities, is to break it up.
Knight is already on probation after a 1995 conviction for pulling a gun on another rap artist, firing a shot, and threatening to kill him if he ever crossed Knight again. It is now up to Judge J. Stephen Zulger to determine if Knight violated that probation here in Vegas last September. And if Suge Knight and his battery of attorneys are unsuccessful in selling the court his version of events, the judge could send Knight back to prison for as long as 9 years. In downtown Los Angeles, Chris Blatchford.
27 more judges ruled Knight violated probation on an earlier assault charge. And as Chris Blatchford reports, it means one of music's most powerful men could spend 9 years in prison.
Marion Suge Knight sat and watched with a glum look on his face as his attorney David Kenner made a last-ditch effort to keep the Death Row Records boss out of prison.
We now see Mr. Knight
Once more, showing this videotape of a rumble at the MGM Hotel in Las Vegas, Kenner insisted it shows Knight trying to break up the fight. But prosecutor Bill Hodgman, in his closing statement, argued Knight clearly was an aggressor in the attack on a rival Crip gang member.
it was a violation of the law, and in turn, he violated a condition of his probation, and I asked this court to find just that.
And Judge J. Stephen Zulger, explaining he watched the videotape another 24 times in his chambers, agreed it is very clear Knight was an active participant in the assault.
I do find a violation of probation. I also keep in mind, I think the way he left the scene evidenced a consciousness of guilt. I think he had been involved in an assault, and the way he left the scene causes me to believe that he knew exactly what it was he was doing.
The judge described it as a violent rat pack attack, noting Knight kicked the victim at least once.
He has a history of violence, and I am concerned for those people that are out in the community that are potential victims of his assaultive behavior.
Suge sat fidgeting after the judge indicated it is his inclination to send him to state prison. Defense attorney Kenner says he is very disappointed.
I have trouble in not believing that what happened done today is a reaction to the overall general animosity that appears to exist in the law enforcement community with regard to Mr. Knight's record label, Death Row Records.
His probation revoked, Knight faces a possible 9-year prison term. Now in county jail without bail, he awaits the judge's final sentence in February. So the remaining question at this point is how much time will Suge Knight spend behind prison bars?